So, guys, I want to show you PinFest. This is an old school pinball machine and arcade show that goes on once a year in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I go to it. I've been going to it, I guess, the last 3 years in a row. And it's fantastic. So, if you remember like those old school arcades from like the 70s and the 80s, and I guess even the 90s, well, this is kind of a show of those machines. And you can come here and you can buy machines or you can sell machines. And it's pretty cool. I drive out here from where I am in New York City. It's about a 2 hour drive. I have a lot of fun. And this show is pretty big. It's pretty packed. There's over 400 machines, and there is a flea market where if you have machines, you can maybe find old parts or old like marquees. Some people sell toys, but this is just like a big, huge like arcade almost. That's the best way for me to put it. And they charge you like $20 to come in. It's the whole day. I got here like 12 o'clock. I stayed till like 9 o'clock at night. I had a good time. I walk around and I play all the machines that maybe I haven't seen. So what happens is I'm always looking for something that I've never seen before or something that I've never played, and that's usually what I play. And people come here from all over. So I was talking to a lot of people, just chit-chatting, and I was meeting people from Maine. I was meeting people from North Carolina, Virginia. Somebody told me they drove like, I don't know, almost like 2 days to get here. People come here and they stay overnight. So this show, it's 2 days. It's usually Friday and Saturday, and people will like come on a Thursday and they leave like on a Sunday. I don't do that. I drive out Sunday. I was there Friday. I'm sorry. I drove out Friday, left Friday night. It was fine. I can do the drive. Some of the people that I went with, some of my friends that I met there, they stayed overnight, and they actually went both days, Friday and Saturday. I would have done that, but I just didn't have the time, but I would have loved to do that. But just even the one day was pretty good. And here's, you're looking at all the stuff. It's all different pinball machines and old school arcade games. I would love to buy a bunch of this stuff. I don't have any room. I have a couple of games in my house, and I think if I showed up with any more, I don't know, I'd be sleeping on the outside of the house. So there's just a lot of nice things. Everybody at this event, they're very nice. They're very cool. Now, the other day, I think I showed you this other event I went to, a small business expo. This is a little bit different. This is just more laid back. These are just people here having fun. They love to talk about video games and pinball machines and all that stuff. I'm into that. I'm quasi into the vending business, I guess is the best way to put it. Years ago, back in the late 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and still a little bit today, I think I was more involved in stuff like this, and I'm not anymore, not really like this, but I do like to come out, and I love to look at games, and like, so I was tempted. See, on the right there's like a Pac-Man machine, but it's not really a Pac-Man. It's like a multi-K thing. But sometimes I see things that catch my eye, and I'm very close to buying it, because sometimes you don't see it very often. Even like with Craigslist and eBay, when the machines are in this show, for instance, you're able to, like, if you know what the price really goes for, the person that has the machine, they kind of know they're in an atmosphere where everybody kind of knows the price. It's not a lot of people that are novice, and you can talk to them, and if the price seems too outrageous, you can kind of tell them, like, look, this is what the machine's really worth. I mean, there's people that have actual pinball and machine guidebooks that have like the accurate prices, and you can usually get a better deal. A couple of years ago, my friend actually bought like a Neo Geo from here that he still has. That was very, very good. I always feel like a kid in a candy store, and I would love, there was a couple of machines that I wish I could have bought. I didn't bring like my truck with me. I had no intention of buying, but I always feel tempted to, go up there with my truck, and I always think I'll come back with like 2 or 3 games, but I'm just not going to do it. But I'm very happy for this show. I'm grateful for the guy that puts this show on. He's pretty cool. There's a lot of people there that, like, there's YouTube people there. So you can go through YouTube and actually see a bunch of videos on this show. I believe this show is the biggest show on the East Coast, if I'm correct, because there's 2 shows that usually run in this area. One is here in Allentown, and there's another one that is in Pennsylvania that I think it's a little bit later in the year. I'm not sure if it's as big, but it's another great show. And I like going to this show. Now, they don't have shows like this in New York City. I wish that they did. We have like video game shows, but they're not really video games like this. They're more like console games. So if you're looking to play like Atari and old school like NES and stuff like that, there's shows like that around my area in the 5 boroughs, but nothing like this. Like, look at this Pong game. This Pong game is like a real Pong that's coming out, and it's actually being distributed by Jersey Jack, who is a pinball maker here in New Jersey, and that's pretty cool. Something like this is pretty rare. This is an old school Jungle Hunt. That's a cocktail table, and it's a big cocktail table. I was looking at it. I mean, I think if I was younger, I would have bought this and I would have stuck it in my living room, just to like have it in my living room. But it's just a lot of stuff like this that you really won't see, in a general area anymore. You're not going to really walk into a candy store or a bar or a club or anything like that, a pizzeria, and see stuff like this. So you only see stuff like this at at a show and specialty places. I'm lucky enough that New Jersey still has the boardwalk, and there's a lot of things that happen that, we still have stuff like this in New Jersey. So, and I'm in New Jersey all the time. So I'm good that way, but some people aren't. Like, I was talking to a guy from Maine, and he says, yeah, I come here every year because I really don't have, we don't have stuff like this. And it's very hard for us to find it. And usually the only way they can play games like pinball and old school arcade games is if they're part of some sort of group that, somebody has some machines in their house and they do things like that. But I thought that this was really, really cool. I wanted to share it. You always can look. There's a couple of big shows that do go on. I think one's in Texas. I believe there's one in Chicago. I think there's one in California. I'm not sure that every state has something like this. But if your state has something like this, or a neighboring state, you definitely want to check it out. You definitely want to go there with your kids. Like I said, the people that I'm friends with, they love this show. They actually go there for like the 2 days. They're there Friday and Saturday. They rent a hotel room. It's like a whole big event for them. I like that. I don't think I could stay overnight, but maybe one day I will. They also have a lot of, like, these machines were cool, like Guardians of the Galaxy and the Star Wars machine. There's an Iron Maiden pinball machine I was playing that was very cool. Jersey Jack has a new Pirates of the Caribbean, which was another great pinball machine I was playing. So there's just so much good stuff. And I had a really good time, and I was happy that I was able to film it. The only thing I wish I would have done, I didn't do it, is I was talking to the man that throws the event. There's one guy that puts on this event, and it's pretty, this is a pretty big effort. I wish I would have got an interview with him or just talked with him on camera. I didn't. I talked with him off, just talking to him off camera. And I was just telling him, how much I appreciated the show and how much I liked it, and we were talking for like 10 minutes. And I'm not one of these interview people, and that's really not my channel. I like to film things and document things and talk about things, but I'm not a, interviewer where I'm sitting down and asking, questions. But I wish I just would have asked how he went through the process of doing it. I'm not even sure he would have been able to do it. Of course, he was so busy at the time to sit down and do that. But maybe in the future, I'll start doing stuff like that. But again, I just wanted to share. I hope you guys like it. If you guys are near Pennsylvania, this show is called PinFest. It's once a year. It's in May. Definitely come to it if you've never been to it before. I guarantee you'll have a good time. It's a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun, and that's why I wanted to share it. And that's really it. All right. Hope all is well. Hope you guys are doing good. And like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye-bye.